Okay,
the court case.
Run that back.
There's a Diddy what?
There's a Diddy show on Disney about the court case. But
it's on Disney.
Yeah, but this is what I don't like. It's dramatization. So
Okay.
like the dude who's supposed to look like Diddy in this thing is like 20 years older than Diddy in this thing.
Oh shit.
It was like, so it's all hired actors. I was like, I can't watch this.
It's like the Clippers.
I don't want to see this.
Oh yeah, Lawrence Fishburne as Doc Rivers.
Yeah, the Clippers. I couldn't even watch it, man. That was
I just
wild.
wanted the.
Because it's going on live right now. It's like, why don't you just show actual clips
Yeah.
if you're going to do this? This sounds ridiculous to do. But hey, what do I know? That's
Episode
39
39
of The Conversationalist.
last one of the 30s.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. It's a happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How do we
Tuesday?
feel?
Yeah, it is.
I got an actually pretty
Says
decent anniversary gift today for work.
Oh, yes.
How many?
A cooler bag.
Cooler.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Go ahead.
Hardly
yes.
knew her.
You're so funny. Where are you at?
Hilarious.
Right there. Oh no, I was like.
He's not going to fuck with your shit, though.
Yeah, but
I
here
said
we
I'm
are,
gonna do cameras.
a minute and 16 in, fucking
Okay.
with my shit.
How we doing, everybody? Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm alright, man. How are you?
I'm good, man.
It
that,
is
that rain was big last night.
beautiful. It's
Oh, it was nice. It was very refreshing and cool. I mean, the grass needed it, as some guys say, you know. So, it was nice, though.
I was in
nice.
Costco eating a glizz,
A
$1.50
glizzy.
glizz. And the funny thing was, every time you heard like thunder,
Yeah.
everybody'd be like, "Wow!" And it's like, "Bro, you heard this shit before, man. Let's go, come on." And they're like looking at it's
box
like,
my shit up.
yo, it's like, yeah, we're in a warehouse. It sounds loud, like
Like, the whole room is
Yeah.
shaking. This is not new. This
And
has
then
been
they're
going on
like,
for
"Oh, it
centuries.
happened again." I was like,
Eons.
"Yes, man. Can I have my hot dog?" And then
Just
I
want-
forgot to get a pop. I didn't even see that I included.
You
a
just were
pop.
so annoyed and need to get out
What
of it.
a deal! What a deal! $1.50 for a hot dog and a fountain pop,
You can't go wrong with that.
dude. And
Yeah,
then
that
we got
sounds
poutine
alright.
as well. And we
Sounds
shared it. It
alright.
was
I
so
could really go
good.
for a hot dog right now. Damn.
You
Yeah,
would.
hot dogs are.
Yeah, I just smoked a joint, so yes.
Oh shit.
I love a hot dog.
Yo, easy, feller.
Um,
Okay, just if you do this, if you do it like halfway,
Yeah.
it will come up on the screen like halfway, if that makes sense. So if you do it as like a
Do this
rectangle,
over here.
it will show as a rectangle. But if you do it as like an
How
other
about-
way rectangle, it will show
Other
up as an other way rectangle.
Well, you just do that.
I don't
You know what I'm saying? Or is it portrait landscape? I think that's what
Portrait
it is.
and landscape. There you go. Those are the two. Horizontal and vertical.
You know what I
Crazy.
want to start off with? How much do you guys know, like, how much did you guys learn about history and art? You know how some people we know, like McCoy, and like some guys where they know a shit ton about like war and history and all this shit and all these tanks and stuff?
Sure.
How much did you learn about that? Because I'm interviewing a chick that's like an art, like,
History buff.
like she
What
has
story?
a podcast about like teaching people like history.
That
And,
sounds
like,
really cool. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
listen to that one.
Wow.
And she's out of Arizona, and I'm trying to like learn about it now because I never cared before. And
Well, you never. Here's the quote of the day, if you will. You'll never know where you're going unless you know where you've been. So learning history.
So profound.
Oh, I'm like a philosopher.
yeah, she's like a TA at the University of Arizona and stuff. So
Shut the fuck up.
I'm trying to.
But yeah, I see what you're saying, and I could not tell you at this exact moment what in school or where in school, like the
So
amount
what
of
was
history
your
that I was learning.
what was
and
your
stuff.
specialty in school? Like what specialty did you like? What did you think
I was
you
more of
excelled
a
at?
Phys ed.
I was naturally gifted as an athlete.
Yeah, a naturally gifted athlete.
Math was not. I was more of an arts
Okay,
student.
drama.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's right.
drama for sure.
Drama geek.
Yes, thank you. I was. I also
Actor.
did some like English, obviously, for writing and stuff like that.
What was your final exam for drama? Did you have to do a play?
Yeah, I was in a play in college.
What were
Two
you?
plays in college.
What character were you?
First year show was The Love of the Nightingale, and I was the male lead. The second year was shoot, I can't remember the title of that one right now, but it was more of a comedy. I was a supporting. Yeah.
I remember I was in drama. I had to do something about an elephant. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was, but something about they had this elephant and the elephant like killed someone or something. I have no idea.
This was a play?
It was like it was like a drama play. It was like the elephant was in this circus and then he like crushed this kid's head and then they like hung the elephant and it was like this big thing. I don't know what it was called. But
I don't think I know that story.
Yeah. And
you got a crow?
So anyways, history is what we were getting at.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to learn like.
So what subject or what part of history are you trying to learn right now?
So
like,
one of
Canadian
the things
history,
that she
American
talked
history?
about. No, this is like way more like even beyond that, where it's like, oh, like the myth of the fact that like men were glorified in art, like only men made art, and so it's kind of one of the questions is like, how did that happen? Where like only like men were represented or like glorified through like art in the past and how that kind of modernized and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's one of them. And then she has other ones like she took this trip in Spain and I'm still trying to find this certain information to make sure I'm like making this shit sound right.
Okay.
But one of them is like she took this trip in Spain and it was like this 3-month long trail or something that it took to like backpack through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could 3 months, 3 years, 3 fucking decades. I don't know. But yeah, she's done some crazy shit. I'm gonna ask her. My main question is like, how do you put history in like layman's terms? Because it's like you're not only talking about like, yeah, this guy like fuck this guy or whatever it is. This guy killed this guy. These guys hate each other. But it's like in this way of like, well, their clothes were different names. The way they called people were different. The way like their culture, how they fucking treated people.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to learn this whole new thing, and you're like, what? Like.
There's this guy that I follow on Instagram. I can't remember his page name right now. I think it's the Cody Tucker.
Oh yeah.
I sent you some of his stuff before.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy just
good follow.
Facts on facts on facts on facts of history. Like where some words derive from, or how you've come up with such words for certain things, or this person was married to such and such a person, and this person became president due to circumstances that was caused by them two getting together or whatever the case. Like that's a hypothetical.
Yeah,
but my point is he knows so many crazy facts about modern times, past times, Mongolian times. It doesn't even matter. Like he always just digs up this info, and it's like a quick little fun fact for the day. It's great.
Sometimes I find that he talks about things and it's like, oh, these are all connected.
Yeah.
And then the end of the video, I'm like,
is there
none
more?
of those are connected. But like it's still good follow.
They are connected through whatever it is that he's.
Not always.
Yeah, true.
There are some stories where I'm like,
yes.
How the fuck do those?
But like then you got to ask yourself after watching him, it's like, how does he know all of this stuff? Like, where's he getting his information?
Yeah.
Probably like big books. I would assume.
Sure.
But
history is fun. I do like it. I just wish that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know,
at times.
Do you think like old shit like written shit like fucking Mayans,
hieroglyphics,
like all that, yeah, that type of stuff.
First forms of like communication and stuff. Yeah, I do.
Do you think they use the same type of things as like fillers when you look at like textbooks where it's like they use like big murals and pictures and stuff like that, and it's like, bro, you just don't have enough information.
No, but I think in
to
a
make
textbook 300 and stuff like
pages.
That's why you put that stuff in there so people can see.
I remember when I was in university, some of my like other people that were going to school, they were like, yo, get the textbook, read through the definitions, write the test. So the rest of the textbook didn't even matter. It's like, go through, memorize the definitions that they give you on the little sides as like filler.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's all the teachers use. He's like, yeah, sure. He's like.
But I guess that's the difference between a good teacher and a shitty teacher.
Some of my teachers were very clever.
You know, those who can't do.
Teach. Those who can't teach.
Do.
Teach Jim.
I remember one of my women's studies teacher, she did an open book exam.
You took women's studies?
Yeah, I had to for the
had to?
requirement.
Chris Pratt.
It was a requirement
In
For what?
In Parks and Rec.
for the degree.
Really?
Yeah.
Which degree?
You had to take like native studies.
Okay.
You had to take native studies, like two like 1 unit, so each course is 0.5.
Okay.
So you had to take 2 courses and 2 courses of women's studies. Because the university I was at used to be a nunnery.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So it was like they had a heavy like heritage of like women-run stuff. Like the president of the university is a woman, like
Cool.
has been a woman. Yeah, and they
That's-
still have like a
that's
working like
that's cool
like
stuff.
nunnery that's like up the hill, and they own like all of that shit.
So, do you feel that this class was beneficial to you? Did you learn a lot on women's studies? Are you an expert in the subject now?
No, like a lot of the times you would go in, people were so much smarter than you. Most
Yeah.
of even the conversation would go over your head. Because then they're having like debates back and forth, and you're like, I haven't even figured out what you're talking about.
Okay.
Like, so then they're like going back and forth and arguing. They're like, according to this person, according to that person, there was a quote by this person. It's like, I didn't even know, like, I couldn't even tell you like what I'm fucking wearing. Like, let alone remember this shit. Like, and I'm trying to remember this shit and all my other 4 courses. So, like, in my head, I'm like, I have a quiz in this class today. Like, I don't give a fuck about this course. So these people are talking back and forth, and I'm like, I don't care. I just got to be here for the 5%. That, like, it's usually 5 or 10% of your overall grade.
Yeah,
and they
is.
might, and a lot of times because people skip a lot, and if the quizzes aren't like pre-scheduled, people do pop quizzes.
Yeah.
Because then you never know when you're going to get the quiz. So if you skip a class,
You're fine.
well, you might miss the 1% of not showing up for class, as well as the 1% for not doing that quiz. Dude, it was a trip, man. University was a fucking trip. And, like, I'm actively trying to take more courses.
How much were your student loans?
Oh, I think, like, 27 grand.
You paid
27
those off?
grand. Fuck, no, I think I have,
Broke ass.
I have, I think I have, like, under 10 grand left.
It's a
Okay.
hard time in the
man.
economy today.
But the
This
thing
economy?
is, we went to an investor and he told us, like, don't pay off your student loans. He's like, there's 0% interest. Like Nova Scotia, where I got my loan, and Federal, they both have 0 interest. So he's like,
so you're just
he's
laughing.
like, why wouldn't you? He's like, just keep paying the payments that they. He's like, why would you pay any extra? He's like, just let them carry it.
Stress over it. Yeah.
No, but it's like it's a payment. But I have like credit cards and stuff that I'm paying off as well.
Yeah.
So it's like he's like compared to the interest that you have to pay on other shit.
Yes, so obviously
He's
it's,
like,
it's
just cover
considerably
that.
less.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, man, it's a hard world out there, dude. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about. To be honest,
At it again.
that shows where I went. That's why I dropped out of school.
Talk about women's studies. We were talking about what you were taking in school.
Dude, I took
university.
philosophy, man. That was the craziest course I ever... Like, my jaw was on the floor. Like, the moment... This is what he did. Comes in, and he's, like, talking about the class, going through the syllabus, and he's like, is that a table? And you're like, yeah, that's a table. He's like, well, how do I know that's a table? He's like, oh, because, like... He's like, because people say it's a table. He's like, this could be, like... a bunch of orbs that are like in the air that are all like combined, and that's what you're perceiving as a table.
Well,
And I was like,
they said that before. It's like, what is the difference between? Well, it's just electrons interpreted by your brain. Like when you feel something or hear
you're
something,
so smart.
it's just those nerves firing in your brain, which is what to you makes it seem real.
Bro,
But
it's crazy.
it's
Crazy.
I understand what you're saying, but it's an age-old question. But
You know what I tell
Yeah.
people now to like make them feel weird? When they go like, oh, this is up to date, blah, 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 blah. I go, it's fine. Like, in 10 years, by the time I need a new one, we'll be talking to each other with our brains. And they're like, what? I'm like, think about it, man. Put the chip in the brain, man. I was like, I'm going to be communicating with you telepathically.
the
Neuralink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
This
once
is
they
the
put
thing.
that corkscrew in, man, plug your fucking brain into the system. And then they're going to use your brain power as like to power the whole network, man. They're going to, while you're sleeping, they're going to fucking You only need like 10%, man. So we'll take the rest while you're sleeping. And we'll go back to the fucking farm. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting theory.
Or like, what if your thoughts
So we're
are...
going to end up in the Matrix very soon. This is what...
Or like, what if
Brian
your
is saying.
thoughts are like the same way like your search history is collected as data?
Right.
It's like, what if your thoughts and what you think about are also like collected as like a whatchamacall, what's like a consensus?
Yeah,
And
hive
it's like,
mind.
yeah, it's like, oh, like X amount of males think about jerking off 48 times a day.
Apparently a lot
right?
of males think about the Roman Empire.
Really?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So when you were asking a question before about like one of my thoughts on history is like I thought you were going to ask about the Roman Empire because apparently this is something that a lot of men think about, which is I learned about this in a Saturday Night Live skit earlier last year, Jason Momoa episode, and this is a joke that they bring up because at that time that he was hosting, it was basically being brought to light that this is something that a lot of guys think about, which was strange because after I heard that, I was like, how often do I think about it? And I'm like, I don't know. The Coliseum was a pretty cool time.
Yeah.
To see the things that they saw is pretty insane. I've watched both Gladiator movies and the show Spartacus and Rome and all of these things, and I think that at that time, what was going on was crazy. I mean, the fact that this is, democracy is where it came from, but you could kill a dude just for looking at you the wrong way with not even bat an eye about it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, Emily was asking me about like Genghis Khan. She's like, "Who's Genghis Khan?" And I was like, "You know who he is. Like you've probably seen something, or someone has talked about him." But she then goes like, "No, I've heard the name, but I don't know what he's done." It's like, yo, he's literally like killed villages and made like mountains out of bodies. She's like, "Oh,
Discovered a lot of the world too.
Yeah.
Conquered a lot of the world."
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, well, never mind then. I'm good."
So I don't know if it's just the fact that when war was happening back then, it was way more interesting and way more cool, I guess. Fighting with swords.
Well,
To the death.
yeah.
Did that interest us? I don't know. I can't speak for all men, but I do know at that time, like some of the things that did go on at that time were pretty effing cool. So
I don't know.
for sure, I don't think about it as much as they think that
No.
they say that like we men think about it. I don't think about it that much. I got other things going on.
I think
but,
a lot of people think about fucking dirt bikes and cars,
Yes. Dirt
like
bikes and cars.
booties and boobies. You know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
look, like you
I
talk
was thinking
about
about
it.
it. Okay,
You
go
talk
on.
about that Instagram one where he's like, he always has like thoughtful things. It's like always those like meme accounts where like they have, oh, if like this song was this or blah 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 was this, and then they do it. They run that for a bit, and then they put like some chick in her underwear, and everybody's like, ah.
This used to be a real meme.
Yeah,
page.
it's like this used to be a real page.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah,
and you're
I
like,
unfollow those.
yeah, and you're just like, all right, cool. It's all really weird. And when you know like the background of like this chick's just paying for this. She's just paying a lot of money to get this guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to get eventually reported.
Yep.
So then he just like tells her like, yeah, you pay me like X amount of dollars, I'll put it on for 6 hours. And then he just goes back to doing his thing. Takes another one, boom. And then the higher the following, the more you charge.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Right? But it's even when we post shit, Yagwave and stuff is like, send me this post, heart, heart, heart. And you're like, yo, sometimes I do it, and they're like, would you like to see our price list? It's like, yeah, I knew
You contacted me.
Yeah, it's like you want, but keep in mind, comments comment. You know what I mean? Thanks for the comment. Appreciate the engagement. Engagement is engagement. So you might be it's business for them, obviously, but it's
Goodness.
good. Social media is great, man. We found guests mainly through social media, and like I think it does wonders. But I think some of that shit is just like, eh. But some of that shit people love to watch,
Mm-hmm.
like the fucking wild, like people getting hit by cars and like people like falling into like wells and stuff.
My goodness, yes. Fails, if you
Or
will. Serious
women lighting their male counterparts on
dude.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I don't know what you could say that would actually.
I love how
was
that
the
was
joke?
the only thing. Now, when you put this in the group, I don't know if anyone has seen this post yet. It's about. Let me just pull it up here.
I'll read it. I got it right.
Oh, you got it up?
It says,
Okay, good.
insulting remark that caused a woman to pour petrol on a friend and set him on fire.
A male friend, yes.
So apparently, do you know what it is?
we asked,
The comments?
we asked like what, because it just says he said he made a misogynistic.
He was like, keep your
Comments,
hormones
too.
in control and like get back to the like if you can't handle the heat, like get back in the kitchen.
Something like
This is what he
like,
said.
Get your hormones in control.
Let him speak, man.
Huh?
I was just saying that's what he said, and I didn't know that is what he said, and I think that that's completely overboard, and I don't know.
But you hear the stories of like a guy like leaves his girl and it's like, oh, she chased me around with a pair of scissors, and you're like, yo,
How hot was she?
yeah, you're like, that's crazy, man. Like that's
Crazy hot factor.
that's actually crazy.
It's
Like that's damage,
Yeah,
man.
but dudes do crazy shit too.
Yeah,
Like
Facts.
sit outside of your house,
yeah,
lurk.
dude.
where's the one I posted yesterday?
Not even that. We've been watching so much like true crime and stuff. Like it's just, man, to like think about, to put yourself like there and be like, yo, how are these people even thinking like this, man? Like it's so
Okay.
hard to comprehend.
So yeah, you were talking about that relationship before.
Yeah, people
so
tripping the
there's
fuck
this girl in Australia. So this couple, they broke up. Here, I'll put it in our group right now,
Facts.
and then you can listen to it. Now, when I heard this, I'm like, this is so. Well, I'll let you guys just decide. Okay, I just sent it to you.
Do you have Instagram up on? You can just click the window capture there where the eye is.
So
Yeah, and there.
this
and then-
girl, the story you told before, the girl
Yeah.
lit her boyfriend on fire for this comment. This guy breaks up with his girl, and this is what happens. Are you having some difficulties right now, or are you?
Am I?
I'm asking. I wasn't, because I
Does
can
it-
talk
does it
about
look like I'm
but-
having difficulty?
No, sir, it does not.
And then you just got to look
No,
at the
sir.
volume tab first before you run the video to make sure that the window capture audio is actually on. Down on the audio there. Where the green things are. The green
Yeah,
button, and then scroll down.
All the way down.
Window capture,
Yeah.
good. You're
What do you
good.
want it at? That?
Yeah, you can probably turn it up.
Mother has been forced
Yeah.
to
Probably
block
turn it down.
dozens of
Yeah, I'll
calls
turn it
down.
after
Down.
an ex-partner allegedly took her phone number and plastered on poles here around the CBD, telling people to call up and impersonate Chewbacca for a chance to win $100.
This would be the most childish breakup I've ever had. Like, all he had to do was be mature and go, I don't love you anymore, I want to move on.
The calls have been waking her and her 3 young children up at odd hours in the evening, and they're yet to stop.
I won $500.
About 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, eh? I thought it was quite funny, actually. Thought it was a good joke.
A good sport, Jessica.
She's a good sport for that.
Down
Yeah.
and, yeah, have a laugh.
And she asked nicely,
You
you
want to
know?
make a phone call? Go for it. I don't mind.
So super fucking. But you see
That's
the difference?
harmless,
You see
though.
the difference?
Yeah.
That's harmless, man.
Tells her to fucking. He says something misogynistic. Let's light this motherfucker on fire. I'm gonna light this motherfucker up like a Christmas tree. This guy breaks up with this girl. Makes a little funny joke. I'm not saying all situations are like this.
And I don't even
Not
think
saying that.
I don't even think they were
I just thought it was
dating.
hilarious.
It doesn't say in the article anywhere
No,
that they were
they're
like.
just-
No, they were just
It just
friends,
were
apparently.
random. Like it was
no,
just
they were.
friends.
I think they were friends. But
friends.
yes.
But yeah, it's not like
couldn't-
this was like a
I don't
relationship.
like. I don't even want to think about that being lit on fire. That's fucking like what? What the?
Would you rather be frozen to death or lit on fire?
Well,
to
if
death?
you're lit on fire, you get really cold and then get warm before you die. Whereas when you're lit on fire, you get very cold.
I wonder what would. Do you think they would take equally the same amount of time, or do you think one would be faster?
I
than
think
the other?
burning would probably be much faster.
Well, I guess it depends on the temperature. They could slow roast you.
Call me Anakin because I'm choosing to get lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather. I think.
Yeah,
Blaze.
I hate being cold, man. I hate being like I don't like to go out in general, but even when it's winter, it's like yo times 10 I ain't want to go out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but dude, I'm so glad. I'm not. Everybody's complaining about the temperature. I'm like yo, it's gonna get real bad in about 6 months time. So
Yeah, enjoy it while
I
you
ain't
can.
worried.
Yeah.
Like I ain't worried.
I just
at
need
all.
to buy new summer clothes. It's really hot wearing pants.
I don't think I've bought
Pants.
a significant amount of clothes in at least 10 years.
10.
My
Probably.
goodness.
He's
Yeah.
wearing
What,
uniform
you want
all
some
day.
hand-me-downs, bro? I got shirts for you.
No,
if you
man,
want,
I
dude.
just like I don't I
These are
I
shirts when I
carry,
was.
dude.
These are
If
shirts when I
you
was smaller.
look, man,
I was smaller.
I legit do not have enough space for my clothes. So it's like, why would I get rid of? I haven't really changed in
That's fair, yeah.
the
I'm
last
just saying, if you
little
want
while.
new things. You want new
If I needed it, sure. But it's like the only thing I would need
Mhm.
is just maybe better like semi-formal clothes,
Oh, yes.
like going out clothes.
Well, some
Sure,
business
I got a couple
casual.
of those.
Yeah, like
I
dress
got
pants.
that's what I got
Wanna
right
hit the
now. I got a
Gap?
couple of short sleeve button-ups.
Right.
If you want a couple of those.
Ooh, yeah.
baby.
You guys the same size?
I was smaller then.
So you don't fit those clothes.
No, I've grown.
That's
Facts.
okay. I grow too.
Yeah, so I don't know what
Facts.
you're getting at. My gut got bigger.
See my good.
I like to eat food.
Yeah, food's good, man.
Yeah.
Food is delicious.
Anything recently you've ate that has been stellar?
I've been crushing Mount Fuji.
Ooh, I used to get their whatever they put the chicken and the gravy sauce shit.
Sesame sauce.
I went to Smoking Barrels a few weeks ago.
Where?
Smoking Barrels.
What's that?
Ooh.
Oh, bud.
What do they do?
Tacos, baby.
Let's get some
It's not even
burrito.
far from here, dude. We should go.
What?
Legit.
Yo, we should go. Legit. It's
Yeah.
not. It's literally down 137th.
We should go to Rib Fest when it comes.
We did that one year.
Yeah, we
actually.
did.
Yeah.
It was,
It was good. When we went to
underwhelming.
this-
I didn't
St.
like
Albert.
it.
Yeah.
I always find whenever I go to a Rib Fest, I always expect their mac and cheese to have more flavor, but it's always dull.
Cornbread.
Every time.
The mac and cheese is, yeah, it's usually
It's
very
usually
bland.
just like a fill-in,
yeah,
like-
very bland.
and you're
I
just
usually
like,
take the
yo,
cornbread and the beans.
the ribs, man.
But the ribs.
Oh.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, beans.
I can
And
really
the
go for a
pulled
beef
pork.
rib right now.
The pulled pork, man. Pulled pork's where to go. I used to go
Sometimes,
to New
yeah,
York Fries all the time.
Mm.
Pulled pork poutine.
There used to be a New York Fries not too far from here. I was very happy with that, and then it went away, and I'm very disappointed.
A
I don't even
standalone,
know.
or was it in the mall?
No.
I don't
one
think
that
I've
used
ever
to be
seen a
by
standalone
Jones.
New York Fries.
Oh yeah, they
There was
did.
New York Fries there,
It was
and then it didn't last too long.
no, it didn't.
So that's like we also had. There was a Pita Pit. It used to be very close.
Oh, Pita Pit is
Pita Pit was
was
so
too.
big back
I
home.
mess with that.
Like you get home from, you're leaving the bar too.
Pita
and it's
Pit
like,
or
let's
Extreme
go.
Pita?
Pita Pit.
Pita Pit.
And you'd go.
'Cause I like both.
And that because the Pita Pit was open, I think. Till
I think
5.
they're like the same.
They're the same but different.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not.
the same, but they use different shit or
Yeah.
offer
Well, their
different.
pitas like they wrap it up like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
I
love
like it
that.
when they
And-
stuff it, like they
That's-
steam it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
steam it.
yeah.
Nah,
So
man,
they take
grill
the
that shit,
pita,
baby.
they
Oh,
they
you don't
put
have
it
to
in this
explain
little
it, no.
steamer thing.
Yeah.
Then they pop the little dussy out, the little pidussy
Cut the show off. I'm going to
inside.
get some dinner.
They stuff all the shit, and then they wrap
Yeah.
the pidussy lips.
Now I want.
Yo,
food.
shut up, kid.
Yeah, seriously, this kid's
Fuck,
trying to make an
man.
appearance on the podcast.
So,
maybe that's what he
dude,
wants to do.
Lewis,
so
get Joe.
listen, above us. So, two things. I'm getting like a textile, whatever it's called, like a banner to put over the window. So when people are walking by, I have like our Instagram name.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Pretty cool, eh? Check us
cool.
out.
Yes.
I thought
it's
that was
very
pretty
cool.
sick.
If you want one for your window, please get in touch with Ryan.
And then I'll get in touch with the company, upsell you.
There it is.
Booyah. We got
No,
any kickbacks?
but
No.
hopefully, no. When we what the fuck was I saying?
I
What
don't
was
know.
my
You're
second
getting-
thing?
You're talking about the window coverings.
And then before that,
Pita Pit.
Pita Pit.
Extreme
The
Pita.
Extreme Pita. Pita
Bagussi.
Pit.
Pita Gussie.
Yeah, like I don't know. Then
Pita
you-
Gussie.
we're gonna get pitas after work though. After
Pita
this.
Pita Gussie.
Yeah, I want to go back to Chick-fil-A.
Dude.
Ooh,
Dude,
I tried
if
it.
you go-
Underwhelming.
Shut the fuck up, man. This guy coming from Mary Brown's, it's the East Coast.
No, man, Popeyes.
I
Mary
love
Brown's
Mary
is
Brown's.
good though. I
Popeyes
did,
is
I
my
did get a
spot.
Mary Brown's yesterday after work. Not even gonna lie about it.
I want to get the
I had
hot
Chick-fil-A.
honey. Did
I know,
you
that's
think
why I
that
got
hot
Mary
honey's
Brown's.
now the in?
No.
Hot
I've
honey.
never been a hot
Dude,
honey guy.
No, but do you think that's the trend now? I see it everywhere.
Do you
Hot-
like more honey than hot? Or more
I
hot than
used to
honey?
do
yes.
hot honey wings, okay, but after that it was like a phase, you know, and I
Yeah.
grew out of it.
I do enjoy hot honey stuff. I had a hot honey pepperoni or something, and that was the tits at Panago.
Sounds terrible.
Hot honey pepperoni. Try it.
What's your
I
favorite
guess-
wing flavor?
Who?
Ooh,
Both.
wings. I would say
Well, there. So
I get a hotiyaki
Ooh, I fucks with that.
I get
or a
hot.
Daisy Duke.
But depending on where I go,
Yeah.
I'm different. So
Hot wings with
different.
150 flavors.
also it's different back home than it is here because you can get hot wings, but you can oven bake them. So they're deep fried and cooked, and then they put the sauce on and they put them in the oven to bake it, and the sauce bakes into the wing. So I get hot steak spice
You're gonna make me fucking calm.
and oven baked.
You're gonna
Dude,
make
they're
me
fucking
buzz.
unbelievable. But if we're here or something like that, I like. Not that I prefer dry rub, but I hate when my fingers get all saucy. But still,
Do you hate when people get boneless wings?
no.
Yeah, chicken nuggets.
Yeah, man.
I love chicken nuggets. So who am I to judge?
I know, but it's like
Be a
We're not
man
getting- yeah.
and just get some bone and wings.
knuckle
man.
up, bro.
So okay, you're gonna tell me you don't go to McDonald's and get chicken nuggets?
Well,
Sometimes.
yeah,
Shut
they
the
don't sell
fuck
wings
up,
at
man.
McDonald's.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying that I go to a restaurant that serves wings and get boneless wings.
Okay, as a man that goes to BP's almost every week after my basketball games,
Yes.
if you order boneless wings,
Oh, and everyone's
you're
getting
getting
wings?
put on blast.
Oh, that's fair.
1000%.
Okay, but hold on a second. Let me ask you this: if you are going out, if you're at BP's,
yeah.
and somebody gets chicken tenders with fries, are you giving them shit?
No.
Okay, so
But
but
I
let
mean,
me
that's
let me ask you why.
overpriced. It's overpriced chicken strips. Why would you
okay,
ever do
but
that?
that's the exact same thing as a boneless wing. What are we getting at
No,
here?
man, just get the bone in, bro.
But if you're not
Be
gonna
mad.
get mad at somebody for getting chicken tenders or chicken strips, you can't get mad at them for getting
Yeah, I
boneless
can.
wings either.
Yeah, I can. There's just
Alright,
there's
man
levels to
up,
this shit,
man.
man.
That's fair. I'm
Oh,
not that
man
person.
up.
I'm not trying to defend myself here, but I'm just saying there are people out there. So the other thing too
Anywho.
is I've gotten chicken strips.
Teriyaki is the greatest.
Teriyaki, you think?
Okay.
That's all.
No, after going to Chick-fil-A and having that
Polynesian
Polynesian
sauce?
sauce,
It's the tits, right?
dude, I didn't have it the first
I'd
night.
fight somebody over that.
I didn't have
sauce.
it the first. So the first time we got it, I had it with like the barbecue sauce, something like that. But I took the Polynesian sauce home, and I had just told you I'd bought a huge bag of chicken strips from the grocery store.
Not chicken wings.
Chicken strips. And I made them in the air fryer, and I had the Polynesian sauce. And dude, that shit is banging. It is banging.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, man.
You know what else
That's what's up.
I've been doing a lot?
What's that?
BarBurrito, bang
Ooh.
bang.
Get the fuck out of here. Bro, BarBurrito's trash.
Where's the one? What's the one we always go to? The one that's by the movie theater.
Mucho.
Mucho burrito.
Mucho is
leaps
so
and
bounds better.
Is it?
Yeah, Mucho's way better.
BarBurrito, they're in there, they're taking your
Million times.
beans, they're not draining the beans off, so you got all this bean sauce in your
Are we doing a
burrito.
food episode today? Is this what we're
Oh,
talking
I
man.
think it's steering that way.
This could
Whatever,
get
man.
very bad.
That's all
I
right.
am
We got
high.
time.
There's a lot of
hungry.
things in the culinary world that upset me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
fair. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Okay.
Bean water.
When
Ugh.
so when we went to after our dude's day last year,
Yeah.
we went to Earl's.
Earls.
Okay.
Yeah, they call me Rollback Ryan.
Yeah. So I
No,
had
there's no raise, Ryan.
No
I had a-
raise, Ryan.
I had a
This
steak.
dude didn't want more money.
And I had those deep fried mashed potatoes. Now, dude, these things, like, again, I was high after that. So they take a potato and they take the skin out and like mash it up.
Mash it up.
Mosh
And then they
mouth.
wrap it in the potato skin and deep fry that.
Ooh, little flour, egg batter. Ooh.
And then they put the fixings of a baked potato on it. So it's like you get sour cream, and then you have like your bacon bits, your chives, your cheese, but it's like
Mama.
so think of it almost like it's maybe the size of a cannoli, but it's a deep fried baked potato like that. And I was like, this thing is
Fucking believable. Do you guys remember the time when Boston Pizza had Burger Ate My Pizza?
No.
And it was a pizza burger. So it was it was a pizza like wrapped.
That sounds disgusting.
It was like a pizza calzone type thing.
Pick one.
But it was
Calzone?
like no, but it was like in a dumpling shape. It was like a giant pizza dumpling.
No,
So a
I don't
calzone.
remember this.
That's exactly what that is.
But a calzone's more like quadrilateral fucking,
it's like
you know.
it's like a pizza pop.
It's
a
like
pita.
no, it's like a half moon.
It's like a pizza pop.
No, a
Which is a
calzone's
half moon.
Yeah.
Come
no,
on, dude.
this was
Come
like
on, dude.
circular. This was like a burg.
Okay.
This was like if you deep fried
So
a
it's
burger.
like Crustables.
It was like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Crustable.
It's like a Crustable.
But
so
round.
Pizza pocket.
So that's a Crustable.
okay,
is
pizza
round.
pocket,
Not
giant
a
pizza
pop. A
pocket,
pizza pocket.
Yeah, pizza pocket is the circle.
pizza pocket.
Yes, that's the big circle.
Why do
But
you
it-
want your burger?
I wouldn't want.
If you want a burger, get a burger. If you want
I
pizza,
know.
get
I
pizza.
never got it. I just remember
we got a
when we
pizza
went on
burger.
trips.
Where's one of the best burgers you guys have ever had? Do you remember?
One time I had a pepperoni, a PB&J burger.
Ooh, those are the best, dude.
What?
It was Daryl's.
You never had it?
Daryl's
No,
Dine
get the
In
fuck out of my
at,
face.
Okay,
in
go to the
Nova
Thirsty Rhino,
Scotia,
man. We gotta go back.
Halifax.
Okay, maybe.
Dude, peanut butter on a burger is actually fucking.
A
delicious.
peanut butter and jelly burger.
Yeah, mac
Go
and
to
cheese.
Daryl's, Nova Scotia. They're
I'm not
famous.
Or
Suck
go to
a
the
foot in Nova
Works.
Scotia.
Look up the Works as well.
For me, it's gonna sound basic as fuck. You
Yeah.
guys know I fuck with teriyaki. The
Teriyaki
Kona
burger.
burger. At
Kona
OJ's.
burger. Oh yeah.
The first
yeah.
time I had it, the
Yeah.
bacon was so like crisp and peppered. And obviously, I don't mess with mayo.
Yes, you don't.
But like
You don't fuck with mayo?
pineapple,
He's a coward.
it's just a coward.
Yeah.
I just fit the stereotypes, man. But yeah, that Kona burger, fucking slapped.
Ralph, just relax.
Bing
Ralph. It's
bong.
okay.
Yeah, bing
Kona
bong,
burger.
Ralph.
I like the
It's-
burgers at Yeg Burger too.
What do you think of his
Yeah.
haircut that I gave him?
Ralph
His
Yeah.
face looks good.
looks like shit.
I can see his eyes.
Ralph,
Yeah, he's getting
Hey.
June 4th.
look at me. Ralph,
He's talking up there, man.
I'm over here.
Ralph, what up, G?
It's okay.
Who's cycling? Like
He still has student
Me,
loans.
sorry. I'm fucking
that?
around.
You're having a stroke.
Yeah. Okay, reeling away
Now I
from
really
the
want a
food.
burger. Yeah, no. Let's stay
We're
back. Let's stay
pivoting?
on the food.
Okay, what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about sports.
Sports.
Okay, let's
Sports.
get into it.
Well, tonight is Game 4.
Connor
Let's talk
Brown's
about
out?
this one. Connor Brown might be out.
Out.
Do you think
Connor
he's
Brown is out.
Do you
Okay.
think he is a underrated in the series?
He's been really picking it up in the playoffs. Period. Not just in the series. He's been really
Yeah.
dominating in these playoffs so far.
Rupee.
He's a valuable. He's been very valuable and very productive.
Scoring goals?
Yeah.
Scoring goals, making plays. So I think
Utilizing
that's-
his speed,
Yeah.
especially after we lost McLeod
So-
and Holloway
won,
and those guys.
Game 4 right now is tonight.
Who won last night with Florida?
Carolina.
Carolina won.
They extended the series.
Carolina
gentleman's
extended the series.
sweep.
Yeah, I'm so excited about. I was very happy about that one last night. I really, not that I look. I don't. We were talking. Well, my friend and I were talking about it today. We were like, I don't understand really how Carolina got here. Like, sure, they had a great season, but like in the first round they played New Jersey, or was it Washington?
They eventually played Washington.
Yeah, so Washington would have been the second round. First round would have been New Jersey, and they didn't look that great against New Jersey.
Yeah, they played.
But then against
New Jersey.
Washington, they played really well. And it's like, okay, maybe they deserve to be here. And they started playing Florida, and it was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're missing right now. I can't figure it out. And neither could they, clearly, until last night. But I'm happy that they did.
Did they have a lot of injuries? Is it injuries
Who,
or is it
Carolina?
just they don't have people? Yeah.
I just don't think they
no.
score goals.
They just weren't scoring. They weren't producing it.
Yeah.
Florida was really shutting them down.
Shut 'em
But it
well,
was
but
like,
that's last year's champ.
yes, but
Right?
for
So it's
but
like-
when they were playing New Jersey
You're
in the
against
first round,
Goliath,
was it
theoretically.
Tampa in the first round?
They played the Devils. They beat
They
them
played the
4-1.
Devils. So when they played the Devils, they didn't
the
look
Caps.
they didn't look very, very, very strong. But
They
They
beat them
still won
4-1.
that series. So hey,
They beat
and
them
they beat
4-1.
Washington as well.
They beat
They
them 4-1.
Yes,
They
exactly.
won both series 4-1.
But they ain't
Who?
doing that right now.
That's pretty dominant.
What, Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like if you watch those games, it's not like they were
Is it just
dominating
that?
like defensively or offensively. It was just like, man,
What's
we're just playing.
Carolina? East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe the East is just really weak.
This one thing I learned coming out, like before I moved out here, I should say. I always used, being from the East, I always cheered for obviously the Sens. But after that, when Ottawa played Anaheim in that Stanley Cup, Anaheim dominated them, and you could really see that the West had a different game plan when it was coming down came down to it. And then the following year was when Edmonton. Or was it 2 years after that?
It was probably 2 years after. Because
Edmonton
it
went
went
to the Cup.
Calgary
Yeah.
and
Calgary's before us.
Tampa Bay. And then Edmonton and Carolina.
Yeah. So either way, the West always just looks tougher, especially. They're more physical, and I think that's something that the East is not really always ready for. Except for last year was a different story, but it was a hell of a series.
Hell of a series.
Hell of a series. So
Who knows, man?
If Carolina could come back right now, I'd be super excited. Super excited.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy when you look at professional sports and how many times a year it's like this person broke a record for this and this person broke. It's like usually every year some type of milestone is reached where it's kind of like, oh, that was like the best of its kind. And you have other ones where it's like that's also the worst. Where it was like, wasn't this the big? Was it OKC or was it the Knicks or something? Where it was like the biggest blowout in playoff history.
That was not this.
That was this series, one of these series.
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know Minnesota won that game the other night by like 40-something points.
Yeah, man, they killed it.
Yeah.
What do you think about? I just watched this while I was waiting today. I just watched SGA say about they asked him about him being a free throw merchant, and he's like, "Don't care, never cared." It's like fair, and especially in playoff mode. Even when they asked him, like, even when they asked Kobe, you don't seem too upset. You don't seem too happy. You just won the game. He's like, "Is the job done?"
Yeah.
Well,
Job's not done.
job's not done.
Absolutely.
Job's not done.
If
What's
I
there to
gotta
be
play
happy
7
about?
games against somebody, minimum 7 games against another team, and I've won 2 of those games,
It's
I
not
ain't celebrating shit yet. It's not over.
And his perspective, where it's like, they obviously say this. They don't want me to win. That's how this works.
Yeah.
He's like, it's probably a lot of these people that are saying it are probably Minnesota fans that don't want OKC to win.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. If I was playing on another team and got,
Well,
like,
that's
it
what-
wouldn't
that's what
be
he
I'm a
brought
free
up.
throw merchant.
He's like, look, when we were, well, you can't say tanking, but when they were not doing as well as what they are right now, he was getting like 11, 12 free throws a game. But then it's like, now that they're being successful and he's averaging 8, 9 free throw attempts a game, it's like everybody's got an issue with it now. Like, you weren't saying shit when we weren't winning.
Yeah.
So,
But this is the same thing they did to Trae Young. This is the same thing they did to, like,
James Harden.
James Harden.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dwayne Wade went through it. Like, any slasher goes
Yeah.
through this.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Yeah, but I
if you're driving the bucket every time, it's like, well,
But
this
that's
is
the
just
thing, is like Dwayne Wade was attacking the hoop.
Mhm.
James Harden was just like out at the three-point line.
Yeah.
a lot of
Trae
times
Young's
it's like,
just stopping in front of people.
yeah, a lot of times it's just you're cheating the system or you're like provoking someone to make a mistake.
Exactly.
And then you're just exploiting it. You're like, he's going to do this, so I'm going to run into his hand every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just telegraphing people's moves. But the ones where they're like first quarter, I was like, man, there are so many. The Minnesota OKC game I watched yesterday. First quarter, I was like, man, this is bunk. All they're shooting is threes.
Mm-hmm.
Then second quarter, okay.
That's
now you have all these guys start to
today's
drive. And now you're like, oh, I'm starting to see what's going on here. I'm starting to see a game plan. Like, at the start, you don't want to you don't want to, like, if you're driving the basket all the time, not getting fouls, charging, out of bounds, not getting it. It's like they have the most energy, fire off, fire off, fire off. Right? And a lot of times, like, they just weren't guarding, right? But then as soon as I said that, all of a sudden they're all going in. So it's like there's a game plan. I don't think the game plan is to achieve the most amount of free throws.
I would say that's not the game plan, no.
No, I think the idea is like, there is the idea of like, okay, if I'm like shoving you, I legally I'm not allowed to give you too much of a shove, but I'll bump you. You know what I mean? So I think there's a tolerance level, but I think it's very interesting. And it's interesting to see like the level change where it's like there's professional basketball and then there's playoff.
Yeah.
Where it's like teams just get skunked.
So teams just step it up to the next level, which you don't think you're not sure.
Look at Denver.
Yeah.
Look at Denver. And I even was saying to someone when we talked about the Knicks, because he's like, why are you going for the Knicks and not Indiana? I was like, I don't want two like underwhelming franchises. OKC's coming up, but it's like they're not good markets for teams.
Small markets.
Small markets. That's the word. So I was like, I'd rather see like the Knicks because I have more attachment personally because I love New York. I think what they got going on is pretty fucking cool.
Right.
I'm not really attached to India. That's my personal choice.
You're not about the Haliban?
No, I thought that was hilarious. WNBA Twitter.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was funny.
But I said this is a good argument to say that like working grassroots, developing a team is better than creating. Look at Phoenix. Look at the Lakers. Look at where all these guys have super teams. Boom, out. By all these young up-and-coming talents that had time to develop. They kept their draft picks.
But then it's like, did I send that one thing about there's one player in the NBA that is kind of like the, I don't know. He's the catalyst for why OKC and Indiana are so successful.
Paul
George. What that one player is?
Paul George.
There you go. So
he
was in
did
Indiana,
Yeah.
requested a trade.
Went to
Sends
OKC.
off Sabonis. They end up getting like Halliburton in return, and like sets the stage for where they are now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the SGA trade from when he was in the
Because he was a draft pick originally.
Yeah. And he ended up going all the way to OKC.
It's crazy. And then it looks
6
too.
degrees of
It's
separation
funny how
type
that
shit.
happens.
And then
now
not
Paul
only
George is
that,
trash now.
where he goes, and then it's like they said. I was watching this video about the worst contracts in NBA history, and it was like first one Bradley Beal because he doesn't have a trade clause.
Yep.
Second, Paul George.
Because he's trash.
Well, because they said he's an exorbitant amount of money and he's super injury prone. Then it was like Joel Embiid, fucking all of these guys because they just get injured so much, and
They sit out games.
And not only that, it's like Joel Embiid played like 15 games this season, or 13 or something, right? So, is it coming?
Yeah, it's about to. Oh man.
Oh,
Sneeze, man.
You suck.
Look into the light.
But yeah, man, it's playoffs. I said NHL and NBA both playoffs this year have been like good. Sometimes you're like, I already know who's gonna win. Like I don't really need to watch it. It's good.
That's why I'm saying that it was great that Carolina won yesterday because it means that maybe
they're gonna run it through.
Maybe it's gonna be not just what we think. Maybe it's not just an easy prediction for Florida.
What do we predict?
I don't.
Finals is gonna be, I think, Florida and Edmonton, and then it's gonna be New York, OKC.
You think New York's gonna come back?
No.
What's the series at right now? For that one.
New York's got
3-1.
3-1, yeah.
3-1.
When's the next game? Tonight? Tomorrow.
Tonight. I believe. Yeah, Minnesota was last
27th?
night.
Yeah, they play tonight.
So we
Indiana,
out
Minnesota.
Minnesota, OKC. No,
OKC's
sorry.
up 3-1.
OKC's up 3-1? Oh, sorry, yeah. Indiana, OKC. Obviously.
Indiana, OKC. It will still be good. These are like
Who won it
talents.
last year?
These are Denver.
Okay.
No, Boston.
Yes, that's right, Boston.
Yeah,
Boston.
That's right, Boston.
Denver won it the year before.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting because apparently right now, even the 4 teams that are in, this will ultimately be a historic win over decades long that they haven't got a championship. So regardless who wins, this is like a very huge achievement out of these 4 teams.
Absolutely.
So it's like either way, regardless who wins, it's a huge
thing for the
right. This isn't like a repeat
Yeah, like
where
the
it's like
Knicks
you
haven't
just
won
dust in
since-
them.
And they mentioned that
50s.
on like one news article I was reading. They're like, because there's no dynasties right now, the year of dynasties might be over in the NBA. Is that bad for the game? Is what the question.
I think people are just aging out.
Yeah.
And this is
I
what
think-
happens in sports. Eventually, you're gonna have
I
a new
think
champ.
and then eventually
You
you
know?
have a new people in their prime.
Absolutely.
That's the whole life
That's-
cycle, right?
This is the life cycle of sports. That's what
But
happens.
that brings it back to like those smart market teams where you start seeing teams that have not been as successful and they're starting to get their footing and figure it out in terms of like roster construction and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's like I'm all for it. I want to see more
You.
Fucking dog, man.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Absolutely.
Parody? Ralph. What up, Joe? Bye, Ralph.
But. Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, dog.
That's one thing like I do enjoy about football a lot is there is the potential. There's a bigger potential of a new champion every year in the NFL.
Just got to win one. Make it to the playoffs, win one game.
That's it.
Knock somebody out.
That's the next sport where it's like every year I'm starting to tackle like how every sport works. 'Cause I was like, and not how the sport works. Like I genuinely understand how it works.
Yeah.
But like the teams and who the GMs are and all the fucking bullshit that all of them are going.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I found hilarious was the Jets made Aaron Rodgers fly across the U.S. and
I'd be
then
so
for
pissed.
5 minutes they fired him.
Yeah.
And that's
Hey, we're
like,
gonna go in a different direction at quarterback.
Yeah.
it's like, bro,
Well,
what?
I think he probably said I quit. Or
No.
maybe, you know?
They asked him, like, he thought, oh, they're going to talk about the team, blah, 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 blah.
Like what kind of offense are we installing? Because they got a new coach, new
That's
OC.
right. Yes. I know
And they
that.
were like, we ain't trying to get you. And he's like, I flew all the way for you to tell me this in fucking 5 minutes.
With that being said, though, like I love Aaron Rodgers as a player. It's like when
You
he's
think
in
he's a
Green Bay, I
little
think he's sick.
brain?
I
But
think he's a really good quarterback.
after hearing everything that has
Yeah.
come out of his time in
Yes.
New York, you're like,
time,
this dude might be a
even
problem,
his end
like,
time in
you know?
Green Bay and his
like
time
you're
in
skipping
New York,
mini camps and
You know.
training sessions, shit like that.
Well, it's not even like listen. And then
Some
there's
people
all
just
the, there's
don't
all
have
the
got the
COVID stuff
attitude.
Mhm.
where he did his yeah, you know, it was like whatever.
or going on the Pat McAfee show and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I like him, but I think like you said, I think he's a great
Yeah.
football player, but just his personal life, I don't care for.
There's only so much that people are gonna take. You know?
Yeah, but
Ball,
play
ball
football.
don't lie.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie.
Go to Vegas and play for a year.
That's like
That'd
Cam
be cool.
Newton.
I'd be okay with that.
Cam Newton was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You know, terrific athlete, and it's like people just got sick of like the whole aura that he brings to the
Yeah.
organization. It's
Absolutely.
Like, we don't want that.
Yeah. And,
Some
you know,
people just bad locker room vibes.
Yeah.
Some people are. Some people are. And I've heard of that, like, in any sport you hear about it, like, where there's certain guys like that. And the last person, I mean, that I heard, not, like, in football, but I think hockey would have been Taylor Hall. That was part of the reason why he left Edmonton. It was bad locker room.
About Juju. Yeah.
But, you know.
You would
I-
never consider that, considering how much like you're making a contract. But it's just sometimes people, like they have a different perspective on how things work. And if you're making that much money for a long time, man, and you got agents and all this people
I think
talking in
part
your
of it
ear and
is
telling you,
when you're young. It's because
Yeah.
you're young.
yeah, and like, you know, it's one of those things.
You're
It's-
18 years old. You're really good.
Imagine
at
being
something.
that good, man.
Let's say like you're
imagine
anywhere between
LeBron
25
James'
and under.
reality.
You know,
Oh my god.
you're
that'd be
that
difficult.
age and you have millions upon millions of dollars, and you are a face of a franchise.
It really comes down to parenting.
It's not even parenting.
Facts.
It's coaching. It's managing. There's all these different.
Yeah, some
labels
people
and
jip
tabs.
you.
Some people are just like, there are certain hockey players. Like I look at Crosby and McDavid as Canadians, especially like looking at them in their interviews at such a young age. It's like these guys were trained and bred and coached to doing that at such a young age that when now at the age that they're at, they're like, nah, it's not. This is like second nature to us.
Facts.
But are these funny
Yeah,
jokes
are
I'm
you
telling?
fucking laughing at
Yeah,
No,
something?
sorry.
Turn
Sorry.
your mic
I'll put it in
Okay.
the group chat.
Okay,
bro.
listen.
I'll put it in the group chat.
Okay, before we
Bing bong.
log out, we got a few more minutes.
Oh, I have a review for a movie as well.
Is it
okay.
Mission Impossible? Because
No, 'cause I
if
didn't
it's
see
not
that.
Mission Impossible,
And
get
then
the fuck
Mark's
out of my
gonna
face.
get some videos.
I told you what it was going to be. I said what it was going to be last week.
I know.
What's your video review?
This is what
I
I was
saw
laughing at,
the
by the
movie
way.
Sinners on days off.
Sinners.
Ooh,
Hardly Newers.
We're gonna watch that on.
Dude, it is so good.
How good? On a
So
scale
sorry
of
about that.
It is probably
what's the
well.
moving
It,
scale?
I
The
in the
Lou.
last like what year did Inception come out? Look that up for me.
2020.
Look it up, please, and just tell me.
2010, I
Pay
think.
attention for a second.
Or fucking, he's finding us reels and memes, but then he's not sharing.
Sharing it.
He's going like this.
I did share it. That's the thing. Because you guys are both on your phone.
He's like,
What
you
year
know,
did it-
2010,
basketball.
dog. What I said. I didn't even need to look it up.
So in the last
Christopher Nolan, bro.
20 years,
Yeah.
I don't like when the
I
road
think that
flips.
is
Scares the shit
one
out
of the
me.
freshest ideas of a movie that has come out.
Sinners.
Okay. Sinners is now up there in that echelon as
How's
well, if
Haley
you want to say.
looking?
Best actor, Michael B.
He does
Is
a
he the
phenomenal
Michael
job.
Jordan?
He plays twin brothers in this
Yeah.
movie. Both brothers have a lovemaking scene. Ladies, you're gonna love it.
With Haley?
I'm not saying what.
Oh, they like tag teamer.
No, there's twin. Anyways,
Okay.
so the ladies are going to enjoy it for that aspect, and many others as well. But this story takes place in the 1930s. He's had
In the South.
Ryan Coogler he's the director of the movie. He had 15 consultants for this movie.
Who were they?
For I don't know all their names.
Excessive.
But
me the
for
most
no, he
notable.
wanted it to be as authentic to
Oh.
the time as it was. So he had people for because there's a part where at the bar that they're at they have a fish fry and the way that the catfish is cooked. So he had a consultant to make sure the food was cooked authentically at that time. Certain dance moves, certain music that was played,
That's in depth.
certain languages. So there's some Chinese that's spoken in the film, and he had a consultant to find out where most of the Chinese would have immigrated from at that time and what kind of dialect of Chinese they would be speaking. So he had a consultant for that. But either way, in the end, this movie is fresh. It's interesting. It hooks you.
It's vampires, right?
Yes,
Vampires.
it is vampires, but at
Buffy,
the same time, it's
the
a lot of
fucking Michael B. Slayer.
a lot of great music. For the time, it's pretty interesting, especially the two brothers that are played by Michael B. are Smoke and Stack.
Smokestack.
So, and at that time, they're just coming back from like it takes place. I can't remember exactly where, but it's in the South. But they come back from Chicago, and
Dangerous.
they were working for Al Capone.
Dangerous.
And I thought that was a really interesting concept that was touched on because with that, it's like they're coming back to where they're from. And they're like, we can run this shit, no fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Mississippi
So-
Delta.
It adds that Mississippi Delta, exactly. So it adds that interesting element to the story. In the end, the movie is my favorite part is the dancing scene that happens, and you'll understand when you watch it. We'll come back and we'll talk about that.
Oh, we're watching
when,
it tonight.
when the music happens.
Night. It's a
So-
school night, bro.
and the Oilers are playing tonight.
Yeah, I know. After that.
Okay.
Are you?
so
are you
either
gonna
way,
see it in theaters?
No,
Yes,
we're watching
obviously
it
you will.
streaming.
but either way,
are you
You're
talking
gonna
about?
give your
phenomenal
hard-earned money
movie.
to Michael B.
And if
No.
I had to, I'd give it a
Let's find it. Find it on the ting. The richest
Ting?
scale. The richest scale.
Rich gives it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, where's our
There it
riches?
is. I got it. Bing, 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 bing.
4
That's
out
That's a
of
5.
5.
Actually, you know what? Leave that. That's fine. Let's make it a 5. Let's make it a 5.
Five. Bing, 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 bing. Bing bong.
Tell
Bing
me,
bong,
tell,
5 your
tell me
life.
I'm wrong after you're done. Also, one last thing to say about the movie. There's 2, count them, 2
Dose.
after the credit scenes.
Post-credit scenes. What is this? A Marvel movie?
Nah, man, it's Sinners by Ryan Coogler.
I liked Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale Station was everything that he's done that I've watched has
been
been
good.
really,
Black Panther.
really good. Black Panther, the first one, absolutely. Come on, now. First one's so good.
Yeah, Bombay.
Bing bong.
Haley Steinfeld wrote and recorded their original song "Dangerous" for the film.
I'm
Fun
not
fact.
saying anything about her, but Josh Allen, you're a very lucky man.
Someone asked us in the last video, they said in the comments,
Yeah.
why the bing bong?
Yeah, I saw that.
I was
We're
like-
we're supporting New York, man.
Yeah.
The Knickerbockers.
Bing bong.
Bing bong, fuck your life.
I don't like that Dallas Stars have gotten on the Bing Bong.
No, that's not okay.
That's silly.
That's
I don't
silly.
approve of that.
No,
We do not
that's
approve.
weak.
Spare Bedroom Studios does not approve.
No. We're like like when you have like an official reseller,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we're like the official Bing Bong artists.
I don't know. About
Okay.
that.
I don't
You know what I mean? But like, you know how you have like,
Dallas just seems cheesy for doing it.
yeah, because they're just,
Like,
They're just
do
cap.
their trains, subway services? Do they
Yeah,
make the
trains.
Bing Bong?
Subway. Bing bong.
they probably Bing Bong,
Bing bong.
but not as much as
Not as much as
New York.
though,
Yeah.
baby.
I just love seeing their fans go
NYC,
ape shit.
Brownsville, baby, Brooklyn, son.
Yeah.
That was actually where my family lived in Brooklyn. So
Say
Yeah.
what? Brooklyn?
570 Bristol
I don't
Street.
think you have a
Brownsville,
Brooklyn
New York.
accent.
What up?
All right. Let's
I wasn't born there, dumbass.
ooh.
Brooklyn.
Let's shout out our
I'll end your life.
affiliates.
Shut them out.
You guys,
Go first, man.
you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Run it.
Dog. Mine's in my phone.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you very much for coming out. We'd
Oh,
like
you
to
make this up on the
first,
fly?
No, we'd like to first shout out RSS.com for hosting us on their audio platform. We are part of the affiliate program. If you're ever trying to start a podcast or anything of that nature, visit RSS.com. Use our link to sign up. Any type of use of the link helps Spare Bedroom Studios out. And yeah.
Also, KL Cleaning and Home Services. If you need a cleaning service done at your house, they can do it lickety split and they do a bang up job. Use the code SAVE5 to save $5 on a cleaning. That's KL Cleaning YEG.ca. Or you can check out their Instagram, which is at KL Cleaning YEG. Thank you guys very much. Don't forget to...
Have we decided what we're doing for episode 40?
Oh, no, not entirely.
Drama
But
production.
It's going to be very...
it's going to be something we're fun. I think we're going to try.
It's going to be very, very special. Make sure to check it out. Don't
What are
forget.
you?
What'd I do?
He's just putting on some muse.
Oh.
Just a little something.
Something
For a
us.
drama
Okay,
geek
cool,
over
man.
there.
I didn't know.
I've got a crow.
I've got
21 Jump
They
Street.
can't hear it
I
on
know
the
what it was.
stream anyway because it's not on the capture.
But yes, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, hit us up, and yeah, we will. Next
you
week
next
will be
week.
something different. We're gonna try something fun and new.
Yeah, ready for a surprise?
Episode 40. So I hope you guys tune in. Thanks for watching.
40.
Bing
Bing bong.